I ask you once again to please keep in your prayers those who are very ill. There are a number of them already, little tiny children all the way to older adults. Remember them all in your prayers. Remember, the Stations of the Cross are a penitential exercise, so we begin by making a good act of contrition. You know what it is that held our Lord to the cross. You know that he was nailed to the cross, and the Stations of the Cross will remind us that the barbarians fastened him to the cross with nails to keep him there. But you and I know by faith that it wasn't really those nails that held Jesus to the cross. It wasn't really the nails. No nails would be strong enough to hold him there unless he willed it to be there. It was his own will, his divine will, and it was his human will, united, that held him to that cross, far stronger than any nails. His love, his own love, held him to that cross. And there was no power in heaven, on earth, or under the earth that would have the power to take him from that cross until he was willing to lead it. The irony of it is, those who hated him for his very goodness were taunting him to come down from the cross, and yet they did not have the power to put him there by themselves, nor would they have had the power to take him down if they wanted to. They could not have pried him loose from that cross until he was ready to come. It was his love for us that fastened him to that cross with an infinite power which no one could break. Only after the hours of suffering held there in place by his own love did Jesus release himself from that cross because of the will of his Father. And again, a divine will filled with love for us, decreed by him and for him that he would hang there on that cross for those 3 hours. And at the end of that period of time, those 3 hours, only then would he release himself as an act of love, because, as he himself said, it was consummated. The will of the Father was fulfilled. My dear faithful, we need to keep that in mind. We think of our Lord being held to the cross by nails that we forged and nails that we drove. And indeed, it's true, we did forge nails and drive nails, and using terrible iron spikes fastened him physically to the cross. But we would have been powerless to do so if he himself was not willing to be nailed to that cross and to hang there, remaining there. By both his divine and human will, he was willing to do that out of love for us. And all he asks is that you and I go through our daily lives and be faithful out of love for him, carrying the cross, as light as it is, even a tiniest sliver of the cross, patiently for him day by day. This is all our Lord asks of us now. Well, during this Lenten season, we should find a way to do that patiently, lovingly, faithfully, and ask him for the grace to overcome the weakness of our love in order to respond to and answer his own tremendous love for us.